Ma'am.
There, that's what we want to hear. Okay, so now let's talk about, so there's not a needle exchange program. You do not keep any of the prescriptions on board the clinic. They are sent electronically to the pharmacy that they're working with. You offer behavioral health that is also not related to substance abuse as
Mhm.
well. And let's see, love the peer recovery coaches, the support system. I love that. I think that's wonderful. You have a lab on board, so you're double checking everything. There are parameters to the program that they have to stay within. There's rules and regs that everyone has to abide by. Um, is there anything that we've talked about previously that we haven't mentioned, or anything that you want people to know about this mobile clinic?
I don't think so. I think we've really covered the bases really well.
Okay.
I just want to reiterate that we're here to be good community stewards. We want to help this.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier today when we talked, when you think of COVID as being a global pandemic, this is the real pandemic.
Hmm.
It's here. There are so many dangers associated with the way that this pandemic is. It's morphing into even bigger and scarier than it's ever been, and it's a huge monster. It affects all of us either directly or indirectly, and, we're here. We're
Hmm.
here to be a vital resource. We want to help. We're a part of the solution,
Yeah.
and as a community, I think the more that we embrace, treatment
Hmm.
and destigmatize the disease and stop judging those who are affected by it. You don't know
Right.
how someone got here.
Yeah,
You don't
that's right.
know how they developed this disease, what kind of childhood or adult trauma that they could be suffering from, what type of untreated mental health disorder, So the next time that you see someone that may be struggling, tell them about a program. It doesn't have to be St. Joseph. Just try to help someone to
Yeah.
get help that they need. You
Yeah.
know, and the thing about St. Joseph is we truly do care. I have the best team of people that inspire me every day to be better and to
Mhm.
fight this fight because I'll tell you, and this is not to give myself a pat on the back, but we all go out here in the community and we get the stigma that's associated with what we do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we aren't well received.
Hmm.
There are so many myths and just flat out untruths about what we do.
Hmm.
Um, we're part of the solution. You want us there
Yeah,
because disease is there whether we're there or not.
exactly.
But we're part of the solution. We will make sure that people are using our programs appropriately.
Hmm.
You know that we're making sure that we're giving folks the best chance of success.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
if they're not successful, and they won't always be,
Hmm.
um, you know, we don't understand everything with how the brain works. It's like so amazingly complex but we are to a point to where we have a fairly decent success rate,
Yeah.
with being able to treat substance use
Yeah.
disorder. And
Yeah.
I think the more that the community supports it, the better that we'll be able to do. And
Agree. Yeah,
and it benefits all of us,
it sure does.
So,
We,
it's not just me and I'm not on the front lines. I am in more of a supportive administrative type position, but there are times that I get to be and this is so important to me. I want to be able to help folks in Webster County, in Nicholas County, in our
yeah.
surrounding areas, in the mobile clinics for people that are not maybe right in Webster Springs. We try to evaluate where we can offer the most help to the most number of people.
Hmm.
There are mobile clinics in Webster, Braxton, there's one in Richwood, um, and I am definitely willing if anyone is interested. You could email us at info@stjosephwv.com, and that will allow us to have your email address. You can call the Summersville office at 304-362-0295, and they will put you in touch with someone who can tell you what we have available in your area.
Okay.
And, if we don't have something available, there are times where we have virtual options, or,
Hmm.
we can work with our local healthcare facilities, to get the urine drug screens and the testing that we need. And some of it we can do virtually. Some of it is face to face, but
Hmm.
we do what we can to take those barriers out, but the more that the support that we can get with the community, the better off that we all are.
Absolutely. Just a couple things we spoke about last time. We had a mom send a question in. If her daughter would show up at your clinic and say, "Help me, I need to go somewhere. I need help." Can you assist with that?
We can.
Yeah.
So, mom,
Yeah.
if your daughter shows up, we're going to help her.
Yes.
We do whatever we can. I can't tell you the number of times. I have transporters at Parkersburg and Summersville that's all they do is drive. That's
Yeah.
all they do. And
That's
so,
great.
if it means that we go and get them at the mobile clinic and we take them to treatment that day, if it's
Mhm.
detox or residential treatment, or we make sure that, that we connect someone with outpatient services, we're going to do whatever we can, and that's one of the things that I'm constantly looking at is what does our access look like? Because my goal is if you are willing to surrender and you want treatment, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that you're willing to do this, and we're going to get you in as quick as we can.
Yeah, that's great.
Someone will
It's
never, ever not get treatment because of red tape with us.
yeah,
And
that's
we
I think it's
try
great.
to streamline all of that
Yeah.
because I don't want you to die. I don't want
Mhm.
you to suffer. I don't want family relationships to be severed, people
Right.
to be involved in the legal system. So, mom, if your daughter's ready, we're ready to take care of
Yeah,
her.
let's go. And all of the information to contact Jordan and St. Joe's will be in the notes. It'll be plastered everywhere that the YouTube and podcast info is plastered. It will be as well because I just want to make every resource available known. I mean, it's no
Yes,
secret. Jordan knows me. I mean, I want everyone to fall in love with Jesus and let him heal all of your hurts. But if for some reason there's another route that needs to be taken, ultimately I want everybody whole and healthy,
yes,
and God's big
absolutely.
enough, he'll meet you where you're at. So
He
uh
will. And
I
I think
just
he's placed a lot of these people in this
oh
field to
sure.
help too. I really do
Absolutely.
think that, and we support any spiritual pathway, or if there's
Yeah,
some, that's not their path. We want
mhm,
any pathway to recovery. We're here to
yeah,
support it.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. That is so true. Do you have to for MAT, which is medication assistance treatment, right? No.
medication assisted treatment.
There we go. Do you have to be tapered down or can you be on it your entire life?
You know, that is something that, the guidance has changed. We follow federal guidelines, which are, come from the Surgeon General, and come from the people who have really researched this disease.
Mhm.
Um, I'll tell you that like this is not a short term thing. For some people, it can be, a couple years. But I always say leave that door open because I would much rather for someone to be maintained on a maintenance dose of medication than to go out and relapse because we realize, and I think that's why that the federal agencies have changed their guidance is because fentanyl is so much more deadly.
Oh
One
gosh,
use can
yes.
kill you.
Mhm.
And so, if you're maintained on a medication that's not altering your mood, that's not euphoria, and that's keeping those neural pathways from having that person crave illicit drugs, I always say to leave that up to the medical provider.
Yeah,
Um,
it's great.
and our goal is to maintain someone on the least amount of interventions that we can so that they're well.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know,
So
we're
good.
not out here trying to push, medication is even the only tool because unfortunately for methamphetamine addiction, there is no medication assisted treatment. And that's unfortunate because it is really, really helpful. And we know the damage, the physical damage that is done by illicit drug use. And, hopefully someday there will be a tool for that. But for now, there's a lot of therapeutic interventions and we can treat mental health and some of the symptoms but, with opiate addiction, I just think that, as a community, like, it's really not benefiting anyone to say, like, well, you've been on that long enough or, you're
Yeah.
doing this. We wouldn't do that with heart disease or diabetes or any other health condition. And so, taking that stigma away from someone seeking treatment to me is just so vitally important.
Agree.
That's your personal medical care, and I think that's a decision that we should make with our providers. And I think that's just so important. So
Mm,
me, speaking as a nurse, that's not a decision that I would make, but I can tell you that St. Joseph providers are providing all the latest, and we stay on top of it, all the latest information from our regulatory guidance.
yeah. One of the myths that we want to bust today, there's not a cash purchase exchange system with the old mobile clinic.
No,
Nope.
no.
You
We
have to
don't
go
deal
through
in any cash.
yeah.
Um, Also, something that we didn't talk about before is, we only prescribe medications that are on the Medicaid formulary. We do not prescribe Subutex because it does not have naloxone, which is Narcan. It's much more easily abused. We don't prescribe that, and we do take Medicaid, Medicare, private insurances, the VA insurance, and that's something that you can talk with my admissions team, and they can
Mhm.
help, with any kind, of course we don't want someone not to seek treatment because they don't have insurance. So we do have a team that can help connect someone, if they need to get signed up for Medicaid, but we're not a cash clinic.
Okay. That's good. That's good. And so we hear a lot and we talk a lot about meth use or heroin or just the different drugs. I know alcohol is a drug, but we don't hear a lot about alcohol. Is there help for people that are only addicted to alcohol?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you that is a pretty big
Hmm.
thing that we see.
Yeah.
And, I think that it's so much more socially available. It is one of
Yes.
the harder substance use disorders to treat.
Hmm.
And a lot of times it's co-occurring with other illicit drug use.
Yeah.
But I think that it's so important if you know someone that's struggling from alcohol use disorder, it's so important to come into treatment because you know, trying to cold turkey stop alcohol use,
Yeah.
especially if someone's a chronic or a binge
Okay.
drinker, can
Mhm.
be very, very physically dangerous, even deadly.
It
And
can.
so,
Yes. It's
you
yeah.
know, we do detox, we monitor those individuals in a medical setting.
Hmm.
And in our inpatient programs, residential programs, we have a protocol for alcohol detox, so we can really make sure that someone's medically monitored. We have 24-hour nursing care, um, and can make sure that we take good care of those folks. And also, you know, I can't stress enough that therapy is so vitally
Yes.
important um, for alcohol use disorder. Just so important because none of the things that we're talking about today are available in a convenience store.
Right.
And so, for
Right.
someone that has the actual, um, damage to their brain that's done by binge drinking or chronic alcohol abuse, can you imagine that your drug of choice was available every time you went to pay for gas?
Right.
You
So
know
true. Yeah.
yeah. So that's a huge one and one that we're really passionate about. Probably a service that we don't advertise as much, but or that doesn't get the public attention, but it's definitely a big thing, and we are here to help with alcohol use disorder. And also, not everything that we're talking about. I think that I continually try to update our website, but if you want to go to stjosephwv, stjosephrecovery.com. That's our website. You can look at more information, and I try to keep it as updated as possible. But
Yeah. That's
that's a good
good.
place to go if you need. And that also has like a lot of stuff for what to expect
Hmm.
and frequently asked questions and insurance information and things like that. And then, of course, always call my team.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's great.
Great people that are here and just ready to help.
Yeah.
So.
Anything we didn't mention this round that we need to mention? Anything you want to share?
I don't think so. I think that we've really, got the educational information.
Mhm.
If there's something that we haven't covered and it's something that's really, really important to you in the community, Maxetta has my permission to share my personal email address, and you can also email the info at stjosephwv.com. I'm more than willing to answer any questions or clear up any other concerns that folks have But like I say, just please support the people in the community that are seeking help from the mobile clinic. Know that we're practicing safe and ethical
Mhm.
medicine and, therapeutic practices, and that we're here to make our community stronger and
Yeah.
healthier.
Yeah. I agree. And I shared with Jordan last time, and I'm not going to keep her much longer because I've had her all day. Nobody gets better by being shamed. I mean, they're already ashamed of their choices. A lot of them are already in the legal system. I shouldn't say a lot, but there are some people that are in the legal system. They can't see their kids or they're facing prison time. I mean, they're already ashamed of their situation and choices. They they really don't need anyone else to tell them,
No.
that
I
they've
always
messed
say
up.
this, with my patients, a
Yeah,
lot of my patients, nobody dislikes them worse than they dislike themselves.
absolutely. Hmm. Yeah,
And, we're here to make people see the love
yeah.
and hope. And, you know, to me, of course, there are consequences to actions,
Oh,
and
sure.
I wholeheartedly believe in that. But I also believe if there's an underlying cause to someone's actions and they have a disease and we have the chance to help them, then we should.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And, you know, here, there is no judgment of what you've done up until this point because,
Yeah.
you know, this is day one. You're here. Let's do better.
Yeah.
And, I'm very, very proud of the people who have changed their lives,
Hmm.
um, given children their parents back,
Yes.
given mothers and fathers their children back,
Hmm.
become productive members of society. And
Hmm.
I just, it would be awesome to be able to share all of those things and
Yeah,
all of the success stories that I see because it is really cool.
it is.
And, it's a real blessing to be able to work in this population. And it's something that I'm very, very proud of. And, sometimes when I do come up against the unfortunate stigma, and sometimes, not everyone is wholly supportive or believes in what we do, it's the success stories that keep me going
Hmm.
and that
Yeah.
make me I'll fight another day, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. That's good.
because I believe in it. I believe in what we do, and I know that we're helping, so
Yeah. I think that's great. Well, that's it for today. I
thank you so much.
thank
Thank
you.
you for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being a light to the community
Um,
and getting these conversations, and I know I've watched you've gotten several just tough conversations out there and, brighten everyone's day. That's what you do, though.
thanks. I don't know. Just want people to know they matter. They're worth fighting for. So,
Yep,
yeah.
and you do that every day, and I'm proud to know you.
Thank you very much. Same. I would express the same to you, but thank you so much. Now you go enjoy your day.
Absolutely. I'm glad you videotaped this time. Have a
Yes,
great day.
we're good. Thank you. Hey, so Jordan hopped off because I've literally had her all day. We started at 11 o'clock this morning. Just a little background. We had a wonderful conversation at 11 this morning. I didn't push record, so no one could have heard it. So I confessed that to her, and she said, "Let's do it again. I'm available now." So we hopped back on because I think it's real important that we get information out there. I just have always found that it's in the unknown that often confusion or fear um, gets magnified, and I don't want that to be the case. I want us to love people to be their very best, and as I've said before, yeah, I want everyone to fall in love with Jesus and let him take care of what needs taken care of. I'm a big supporter of Teen Challenge. There is a place it's like borderline Ohio, West Virginia, the Freedom House, excuse me. Um, Listen, I love them. We have had someone on that spoke about the recovery they went through at Jacob's Ladder and sober living. So I guess what I'm saying is we get to just love people, right? We get to show them and share with them the love of Christ. We get to offer them resources, and we get to let God be God, and he's big enough that he'll meet them where they're at. And I also get it. I'm just speaking now to my friends here in the county. I get it that sometimes it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating to see the consequences of addiction, the illegal activity, myself included. Like, remember a few years ago, almost, I think 9 years ago, our house was broken into. An addict broke into our house. I mean, I get it. Okay. Um, like, it is frustrating, but I also know that where there's breath, there's hope, and we get to be the ones that give hope or remind people of hope. And yeah, like, let's be that voice. Let's be big hope dealers, right? Okay, so let me share this with you. I could go on for hours, but no one tuned in for that. On the podcast, please, if you have not listened to, there are 3 additional episodes that I really encourage you to listen to. Please extend grace to me. I'm learning the technical side of this. So some of the audio is not the best. I wish it was better. I wish it was crisp and clear. Anyways, you can still hear the message that needs to be heard. So the most recent is episode 40, and I'm with Tina Koger. She's the mother of someone currently in active addiction. Her daughter is in active addiction. Hear from a mother, hear from a parent's viewpoint what that's like. It will change you. If change doesn't occur, yeah, that's probably something inside of you that you get to work on and look at. Episode 17 is with Josh and Alicia Lytle. I love those two. Both of them completed the teen and graduated from the Teen Challenge program. Josh worked with the Teen Challenge program in Athens, West Virginia for years, and they now live on the West Virginia-Ohio border, and they get to work at, and I believe they're part of the administration as well of the Freedom House that I was telling you about earlier. All of their resources will be on there. So please listen to it and check them out, and you can hear their path to freedom. And it's pretty great. And episode 10 with my dear friend Preston Lee, also known as PJ. Preston and I went to our junior prom together. I think it was our junior prom, near and dear to my heart. And he openly shares his story. He shares his journey of addiction, life before addiction, everything that went in between, recovery attempts, and then he shares his recovery journey. He's the one that went through Jacob's Ladder and then sober living, and now he is maintaining his recovery. I forget how many years, I want to say 2 or 3, but I'm so proud of him and his sister Krista too. I haven't got her on the podcast yet, but she has a story as well, and we're just grateful that both of them are still here with us and sharing hope with others. And I also know that there's a bit of a stigma around Narcan. Listen, I wish that diabetic supplies were free. I do. I wish that other healthcare supplies were free. I've worked with the elderly. I was in APS 3 years, and I have a mom right now that's in that category of elderly. I wish that resources were free and readily available to meet their needs also. So I've heard arguments both sides, but gosh, after listening, Preston's life was saved. I think 2 or 3 times from Narcan, use of Narcan on him. Listening to Tina talk about her daughter, like, you know, everybody's somebody, and we're all created in the image of God, right? So he loves all of us, and let's just help people be the best they can be, right? Let's just do that together. I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect. Gosh, I've grumbled about addiction myself and how it impacts others. Listen, we're all just doing the best we can. So let's continue to learn about all the different resources available. Now there's been three, because Tina shared her story, but Josh and Alyssa talked about Teen Challenge. Alicia talked about Teen Challenge, and then now the Freedom Home. Preston, Jacob's Ladder, and Sober Living. And now we have Jordan sharing about St. Joseph's Recovery Center and Matt, medication assisted treatment. And so there's different resources out there. I'm just want to cheer people on, right? Let's go. All right. So I hope this helped. If you need more information, get in touch with me. Super easy to get in touch with, and I'll do my best to give you the resources that I have available. Thanks. Let's go. Let's be hope dealers.